Destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View.
Superhero last night, fourth quarter. He outscored the Clippers by himself, 19-16. The Lakers overcame a 21-point deficit on the road at the Clippers, all the way across the hall, and came back. Fourth biggest fourth quarter comeback of the King's career. Amongst all these stories now that he's on roids. And he went for, 34 last night in a kind of crazy but yet significant win over the Clippers. What up on Merry Thursday to you? How you living? On Leap Day. Did sound like a lyric, didn't it? It's the opening drive. Jefferson Pieta, JJ Buck, DC. How you living?
Oh, what it do?
You can't hear that in a song?
Oh, that's definitely a song.
It's just a zone. You really can't describe it. You wish you could stay in it forever, but obviously it checks out once the game ends. But during it, you don't feel anything. It's just a superpower feel. Ba-da-na-na-na. No?
I love that there's probably some people who set their alarm 7 a.m. and
I just
started
got
their
that
day
crap.
with that. That's awesome.
It could be. I mean, as I was reading, I'm like, wow. I mean, whose song is this? Dude's really, 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 really good. And it was so I was told, you know who told me this? I didn't even know this. The Hallway series. It was the final game of the Hallway series, as they call it at crypto.com, because Clippers are moving into their brand new state-of-the-art Steve Ballmer 1,000 flushing toilets arena over by SoFi. So the final game.
I don't know how big of a feature that is.
Of what? The toilets?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
It's amazing.
No, man. You can't go anywhere and not run into a toilet.
Absolutely amazing.
Yes, and they'll be clean. And as Gavin Maloof told me when he first bought, I ever tell you this, when they first bought the Kings, he told me this story. He was over there at the offices and at the arena, and they had single-ply toilet paper. And he's like, what the hell is this? He says, things are going to change around here. I'll guarantee you there's no single-ply of those 1,000 toilets. What? That was his focus, man.
We don't need money for the salary cap. We need money for it.
Who the hell's buying the toilet paper? Single ply. Look, honestly, single ply.
Do we need a point guard? No, we need toilet paper.
Tell me you guys don't buy single ply. You don't know. You have no idea what you buy, do you?
No.
You would know.
You use it, right?
Right?
Just use whatever is purchased.
Like skimp on whatever you got to skimp on. Single ply? No. Like it's got to be a no. It's got to be a hard no.
Hard no. Hard no.
Let's just say, dude, I'm going to tell you as we wind down here. First of all, it's a big win for the Lakers in regards to where they are in the standings and what they're trying to do, and for the Clippers too, is they were, sitting there, they're the fourth spot. But for the Lakers, a loss last night would have dropped them below Golden State, which would have just meant that game, would be in San Francisco. It really feels like they're staring at the 9-10 game, those two. But that's a big statement last night, isn't it, by him?
It is. You overcome a 21-point deficit in the fourth quarter. It's what you don't expect to happen. LeBron James just bombing threes, stepping into threes, 5 threes in the fourth quarter. And then he was creating plays, made a good play late, drove, everyone collapsed, kicked it out to Rory Hachimura, who hit a 3. And it's a reminder that that dude can still do crazy things at this point in his career. Just have a game where he just absolutely takes over in the fourth quarter. That's a really frustrating game for the Clippers. Just close it out, because the Clippers are the one team I'm looking at in the Western Conference. And they're the team that would worry me the most if they're clicking.
More than Denver?
Absolutely.
More than, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because so far, that's all working. And when you have James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard on the floor, and the way Kawhi Leonard has played this season.
Yeah, he's been
I'm not on the train of, Denver won it last year, they're going to be unbeatable this year. Not at all. That Western Conference is ridiculous. But that is one of those moments where you're just like, all right, LA, Clippers.
Well, it's one of those years where I think everybody's not looking at the top two because they've never done anything, right? you're looking at a Minnesota franchise who's never done anything, and you're looking at the way that Oklahoma City is currently constructed. And whilst really, really good, you're like, yeah, but they're young and they're probably not there yet. I think that's kind of how people are looking at the West, right?
Yeah, and this was a game, too, for the Clippers. Paul George did not play.
Mhm.
Zubac did not play.
But they were still up 21 in the fourth quarter.
That's what I'm saying. Two of your starters aren't playing. You're still in control of this game.
Who are you taking in a series or a 7-game series?
Clippers.
Yeah, I am too. Who you taking in the 9-10 game if it happened right now, Lakers or Warriors? I know, DC, you're on the Warriors, right?
I don't know. After seeing the Lakers last night,
Or was it Kenny? So it was Kenny said he was on the Warriors?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Kenny Thomas, he's here kicking it with Kenny. He's here on Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 o'clock.
I would take the Warriors, but there is a question mark with that because we saw while Chris Paul returned last night, Andrew Wiggins is away from the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So-
that just happened. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting one last night. Luka Doncic had a birthday and a triple-double, celebrated with that in the NBA last night. So there's a lot of NBA stuff. Watched a little District Hoop last night. I was over at the powerlifting, and at the same time watched Academy beat Del Norte. Big one locally in high school basketball around here, and just because of the name, and you remember how good he was, that's how good this young man is. Highland High School's Jesus Licon hit 4 3-pointers last night in Highland's playoff victory over St. Pius. You're like, yeah, whatever. He now is third on the state's all-time single-season list. He passed Bryce Alford. JJ, I looked at the years that Bryce Alford put up those numbers, and it was 2012, 2013. And I'm like, there's just no way it was that long ago. And then you just realize it absolutely was. And that year, Alford hit 131. He was fourth on the all-time list, which is crazy. I don't know. When I tell you that was 11 years ago, does it feel 11 years ago?
No, but
But then
yes.
you think about it, yeah. DC.
Like, wait a second.
This was so when Steve Alford was coaching here, and Craig Neal was his son. So Bryce, who I don't know if you know this, left UCLA as the second leading scorer in the history of UCLA basketball, which is crazy. Was an unbelievable player. He played at La Cueva, and Craig's son Cullen Neal played at El Dorado. And when El Dorado and La Cueva played, the gyms were sold out at the JV game. It was kind of a phenomenon around here. It was, when Kenny Thomas talks about those games he played with AJ Bramlett. It was reminiscent of those. The gyms were sold out. It was an event. La Cueva and El Dorado going, and Bryce and Cullen are going at each other and just throwing in bombs from all over the gym. It was kind of must-see high school basketball back in the day. So it was really, really cool. All right, let's set the stage for you. 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's underscore JJ Buck, and on the Facebook, the OD and the AM. The text line's already going. It was going at 1:25 a.m. It says, all you guys sleeping on LeBron, like you, Jeff. I watch MJ play. LeBron is better. He washed that down at 1:39 in the morning. Brad Starks guarded LeBron James, too. Brad Starks. You know what that is? I don't know who that is. Okay.
Brad Starks, baby.
Same phone number, 1:52 in the morning. Sorry, that was a mess up. Brad Starks guarded MJ. If he tried to guard LeBron, it'd be like no one guarding him at all. All right. 2:22 in the morning. Dude.
Just running through it.
No, seriously. None of the dudes who guarded MJ would be able to even compete with LeBron. Okay. You had me listening for a minute. Okay. 703. Same phone number. And as far as toilet paper, bro, you wipe your poop on it and then you flush it away. Why are you going to spend any amount of significant money on that? We're going to disagree on that. I'm not even going to go into explanations. We're just going to disagree. Are you cool?
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree on that.
All right. different phone number. Single ply is much better than the Sears and Roebuck catalog, fellas. Go Outhouse Steve. That's Steve Ballmer, evidently. And then back to that original number in the 7 o'clock hour. At LeBron's age, MJ was not anywhere near the player that LeBron is right now, and Bron still has another 2 or 3 solid years. All right, LeBron James is in this morning. We call that number 2. That's him.
LeBron James.
I mean, he started. I mean, thank you, by the way, whoever you are. He started his texting at 1:25 in the morning. No, that's not right. I'm all messed up. I'm sorry. I'm misreading this. It was 7:01:25. I misread it. That kind of kills my whole story, doesn't it? It was way better when it was at 1:25 in the morning.
Facts get in the way.
I started thinking, I was like, what kind of job does this guy have?
All right,
if you're up at 1:25 a.m.
No,
7 a.m.
I misread the timestamp. It was at 7:01:25. Then 6 seconds later. All right, never mind. It was a really good story until it wasn't. But I appreciate you on the LeBron stuff. Until you got me, no one would be able to even compete with LeBron. I mean, so like the Michael Coopers and the nobody who guarded him could. Look, nobody's been able to guard him. Who? If I asked you who's the best player to defend LeBron James, is it Kawhi?
That's the first one that came to my mind.
And he went for 21 on Kawhi last night in the fourth quarter. Well, 19 in the fourth quarter. He's really good, man. I'm not getting into the LeBron Michael debate today. We can do that in July. Like, I mean, but okay. But I appreciate the text. 505-246-0610. That's where those came in. And gosh, it was a good story when it was in the middle of the night, but it was really not. It was all within the last 4 minutes. All right, we got a bunch of NFL stuff today. Tyreek Hill's in the news, but not for a good reason. We got NFL grades, DC. You like those?
I've been rolling through some of them. It's really interesting, actually.
NFL. So these are by the NFL, like the player grades?
Yeah, I believe 1,700 players participated and graded their teams based on a variety of
food, nutrition, locker room, training staff, the weight room, all that mess. So we'll get through that. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, this will be interesting, I got to believe. Jerry Palm, CBS sports bracketologist, is going to be here. Kind of the most popular man in America, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Right about now?
Popular doesn't always mean liked.
100%. We'll give you that. He's got a new bracket out today. Did it come out yet? Yep, February 29th. It looks so weird. Did anybody move without playing? I'll let you know when we come back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hey, everybody. This is Dan Beck.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like this shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
In front of you, starting with Boise State on Saturday for Lobo men's basketball. Opening drive, Jefferson Beata, J.J. Buck. Ladies were winners last night, 66-63. All they do, J.J. told you this in November. They're going to play a lot of close games. Of course, J.J. is the voice of Lobo women's basketball. The women win. This was significant in regards to second place. But to beat the Aztecs last night in the pit, another close one. They were down with about 4 minutes to go, came back and win. Big win for them last night.
It's what they do. And this team has been a lot of fun to watch this year. It's not the prettiest basketball, but it's the effort. And all those things you talk about with a basketball team and all those cliches, like this team never gives up. That's 3 straight games. They've played bad first quarters offensively. And all 3 of them, they had a chance to win, and they won 2 of them. And just to grind your way back in a game, to have the belief that, all right, whatever happened, that actually doesn't matter now because we're in this moment in the game and we're on to this possession. And to see what Anaya Ogman was doing, she was maybe 60% last night. She was grimacing the entire time up down the court. It's concerning at this point in the season, especially when you have a game, Nevada, Fresno State, and then the Mountain West Tournament. Head coach Mike Bradbury said last night that I was actually trying to talk her out of playing in the second half, but she's like, no, I'm going to go out there and play. And she finished with game high 20 points. And that really just describes this team because she's the leader on and off the court. And
there was a movement. I saw a highlight. Yeah. She looked like her dad. I mean, and he was a baller, man. But she had that grace, that length. Mm-hmm. She's like, whoa, that looks
like it catches you off guard with how long she is.
Yeah.
when she gets inside. And just a huge win for the Lobos. Clutch.
All right, so what does it do standings-wise?
Standings-wise, what it means?
Yeah.
So Boise State
Yeah.
lost by 6 at UNLV.
Okay. That's a good effort by them.
Yeah, Boise State's playing really well. What it means is the Lobos wake up this morning, they're alone in second place, 11-5 in the conference.
And are they guaranteed to bye in the first round of the tournament? With 2 games left on the schedule, right?
They should be, but you look at those 2 9 and 7 teams, Colorado State, San Diego State, they split with both of them.
Yeah.
So
Well, but they got the tiebreaker over everybody because they beat UNLV. All those teams they split with.
then the next
so
one
the
would be
next
UNLV.
tiebreaker is how did you do against the top of the league, and they're the only one who has that tiebreaker.
So they are doing pretty darn good after what they've been able
right?
to do.
Did anybody sweep New Mexico?
Boise State did.
All right, so they lose the tiebreaker to Boise State. Did they sweep any of those teams that they're
Swept Wyoming.
and that's one of the so they have that. If you were 1-1 with somebody like with San Diego State, you get the tiebreaker because of that win over UNO.
So they're in pretty good position.
Yeah. All right. And you want to finish second or third because that way theoretically you can avoid UNLV until final, which is a very, very big deal. So a big win for them last night.
And there was late in the game, San Diego State, they hit a basket, made it 3. Lobos come down, hit their free throws, and so I start talking about, anything can happen in college basketball. Did you see the crazy night that was, the half-court shots? And then I immediately was regretting talking about that because the Lobos, they did throw away the final inbounds. And Abby Prohaska scooped it up, 2 dribbles, half-court shot. And I was like, oh, goodness. And it was just off to the right. I was like, oh, goodness.
It would have been all your fault. Yeah. But anything's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what's up on the ladies' side. Men's side, Jerry Palm's going to be with us coming up at what time's here? 8:30. He put this out at 5:57 our time. He puts out a bracket. Lobos are still on the 10 seed line after whatever happened yesterday. Well, Jeff, of course, they didn't play. You got to remember this isn't in a vacuum. He still has 6 teams in the Mountain West in. Lenardi over at ESPN has the Lobos is the last team in the Mountain West right now that might be in. He's got San Diego State, Utah State locked. He's got Boise State, Colorado State, Nevada should be in. And he's got New Mexico work to do. And he's got them as one of their last teams. They're still playing in Dayton. He talked about the loss. He said March Madness came early in Albuquerque. He talked about the Air Force game. But he said their net ranking was outstanding. They'll still be very good. Their profile has wins over San Diego State, Utah State, Colorado State, and a sweep in Nevada. At 21-7, the Lobos have the wins to offset one very surprising loss, assuming they continue to win. JJ, Nevada continuing to win helps everybody, including New Mexico, right? I mean, aside from the standings. Now, it would have helped them if Nevada would have lost and dropped in the standings into a tie, then you could start trying to get a bye. But in regards to your profile and your resume, the sweep over Nevada is looking better every day.
Yes, it is. And this is a tough spot because as a fan, you want the Lobos to climb. You don't want them to have to play that extra game in Las Vegas, but then you also still need the top of the conference to solidify itself so all those wins carry those weight. And at this point in time, we know that the computers love the Mountain West Conference, all the metrics, it's in a good spot. So it's crazy when you look at Colorado State and see what they've done in conference, but yet they're still pretty much on almost lock status if you're on the 6th seed line for the NCAA tournament. Enjoy it and go out there and see what you can do.
Actually,
or did Colorado State? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at Lenardi. He's got him as a bye. He's got him as a 10 seed still. So as much as everybody lost their mind, he's got him as one of their last 4 buys, not one of the Dayton games. So as much as everybody lost their mind, and that look again, there's no sugarcoating the loss. As I've been trying to tell you all week, and I firmly believe this, that did not end their season. They've got a lot of opportunity in front of them, but I totally think you've got to find a way to win in Boise or Logan, don't you? I just my
like that would be so big.
Well,
you have 2
because if you if you just win the home game against Fresno State, and I don't want to assume anything, but for purposes of this conversation, I'm going to. If you only win that, you play on Wednesday in the conference tournament, and then, I mean, what if you lose on Thursday in the quarterfinals in the 3-6 game against San Diego State? Right? You're 23-10, man. You're firmly on the bubble, and you are queasy on Sunday, on Selection Sunday.
So, and this is what you have to do. You have to lay out the multiple scenarios, because all these other bubble teams, some of them are going to fall on their face. Some of them are going to get really hot.
Somebody's going to steal a bid.
Someone might steal a bid.
You know, it could happen in the
Changes
A10.
everything.
It could happen in the West Coast Conference. Hell, it can happen in your league. Yeah. Text line, good morning, Jeff, JJ, and DC. Happy Leap Day. What a night for our Lady Lobos. Let's talk about it. Just did. Yeah. You had a good crowd out there last night, too, huh?
5,100.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
nice. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And that team has played really well. I'm going to reach out today. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll throw Nike and McClure at us again or something, and offer her up. But I'd love to talk to Mike Bradbury going into you're going on the road this weekend?
Oh, we're home Saturday.
You're home Saturday. That's right.
Nevada.
You're home Saturday, and then you go on the road.
At Fresno State in the season Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. And then you go. Are you going straight to Vegas from there?
No.
You come home before the conference tournament starts. All right. So 2 more. And Fresno State's playing well.
Yeah, Fresno, to me, on the women's side, they're such a young team, but when their offense is clicking, they could have the second best offense in the league, and they're a dangerous team. Because a lot of these squads, there's been some cold streaks offensively for some of these teams. So if you have a team that can hit some threes, that's a game changer.
Little NFL when we get back. The Jets are making an accusation against one of their former players, and it's quite a serious allegation. Is an allegation the same as an accusation? It's different. If I said accusation or allegation, are they different? Anyway, the Jets are making an accusation against one of their former players who went on and, won a Super Bowl. Serious allegation. What is it, and is there any water to it? And why is Tyreek Hill in the news? It's not good either. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Meyer here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted,
Intoxicated.
rip, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
There was a validated belief from the Jets that Hardman, frustrated by his lack of usage, leaked game plans to the opposition as implied by several players, not just the Eagles game, but also the Chiefs. End quote. Again, what are we doing? Now, the Jets upset the Eagles that week, the alleged week. That was in mid-October. They managed 244 yards. They were 2 of 11 on third downs. Against the Chiefs 2 weeks earlier, they lost 23-20. That's a pretty good game, taking them to the wire. But Sauce Gardner's comments came after their punter. when your punter's talking, it's usually not very good either. Thomas Morstead is their punter. But he questions Hardman's initial criticism of the Jets, and he cautioned reporters to, quote, be careful getting information from disgruntled former employees. And he's not. He suggested that Hardman accused the team brass of lying about his offensive role was simply a product of entitlement, and that he was beat out by a rookie free agent. It's not a rookie free agent. The became a star. Remember, he became a star on Hard Knocks. He returned a punt in a game. Joe Douglas,
the Bills
against the Bills. Yeah. Joe Douglas, the general manager of the Jets, he responded to Hardman's claims by doubling down. He was expected. It was Xavier Gibson. That's who it was. He was expected to join our team, but he simply lost snaps to the rookie. I don't know, man. This feels like something that's going to get traction. That's quitting on your team. Quitting is like as bad of an allegation, of an assertion, of an accusation there can be, right? But I'm going to guess treason. Is that what this is? Sports treason?
Yeah.
Right? Has to be pretty far up there as far as the in-locker room offenses. I don't know. How do you guys feel? If it's because
there's the punter's comments.
Yeah.
The little pot meets kettle there.
Fair.
Of, all right, while Hardman's saying some things internally that we've all kind of questioned the atmosphere of the Jets locker room. Is that King Aaron Rodgers and everyone does what he says?
We'll go to the throne. Yes.
And then while he's saying, hey, be careful to believe Mecole Hardman, then you have a bunch of Jets players saying that dude was leaking game plans. So that's a lot of stone throwing. Or alleging he was leaking game plans.
Well, but where does it come from, right? I mean, it's I don't know, man. You better have pretty good evidence before you throw this stone, don't you think?
You would think.
And Sauce Gardner.
But disgruntled players, dudes that have a beef, probably aren't thinking very rationally.
Why is Sauce Gardner disgruntled? What's he mad at?
Someone was calling out their locker room.
Right.
There are a bunch of individuals that aren't on the same page.
I mean, okay. All right. Yes, I'm told there was a validated belief. I mean, this is all right. I'll live with it for a minute. But I just don't think we're done with it. I think there's more.
Does the NFL have to investigate this? Like, what happened?
Kind of, right? Don't they? What would I don't know. I mean, is there a penalty? You just get a blanket party? Your old teammates come over to your house and beat the crap out of you? Like, honestly, is there a rule against it? I don't even know that, like, what you would think that there shouldn't need to be a rule against betraying your own team and handing out your own playbook or game plan. But I'm not going to tell you I've ever heard this before. Have you?
Entire game plans? No.
That's
we've seen teams, if players are cut or have played somewhere, they might bring them in, practice squad, try to get some information, things along those lines. But a player leaking an entire game plan, I don't recall a moment like that. But what, honestly, and this is one where, to me, that is definitely, as you're saying, whoa, like, what info do you have that you think he leaked the game plan? But also, I don't think what Mecole Hardman said was outrageous about the Jets locker room.
I agree with that, too.
And these guys are acting like,
yeah,
you just called them the worst thing imaginable.
I know. All right, then there's this, because there are rules against this. Tyreek Hill, Dolphins wide receiver, accused of purposely breaking a woman's leg. There's a civil lawsuit out. So he's facing this lawsuit that he broke a woman's leg during a football drill last summer. You're like, wait, what? So there's a social media influencer. Her name is Sophie Hall. She filed a lawsuit in Broward County alleging that Tyreek Hill, quote, forcefully and purposefully, end quote, pushed her to the ground during a football drill at his mansion last summer. Evidently, Hill was humiliated. That's what it says in the suit. When this young lady, Hall, so this is Hill and Hall, when Sophie Hall sent him backwards in a friendly football lesson. The lawsuit claims that he charged at her violently and with great force. So evidently they were like playing, here's how you do it, here's how you do it. And she pushed him backwards, and she's alleging that he was embarrassed that he pushed her backwards and he came at her and broke her leg. Quote, the crushing force was so great that she sustained a right leg fracture, necessitating surgery with metal hardware implementation. End quote. She wants $75,000 in damages. Lawsuit says she filed charges of battery and assault and intentional infliction of emotional distress and negligence. Damn. I mean, I don't know what.
Can Tyreek Hill just not get in trouble every single offseason?
I know. I'm a judge. I'm a jury. I don't even know what to think. So tell me what this sounds like to you. I'm going to tell you what it sounds like to me. All right, so here's how you do it, right? You know, a football drill at his mansion. The two of them are, I mean, they're doing their thing, right? And so here's what we do, and you tackle like this, and she probably, you know, you mean like this, and charged him and knocked him backwards. He's like, what the hell? And came a little hard, broke her leg. I don't know, what do you got?
Shaking my head, man.
I mean, is that
like
how
Tyreek Hill every
is that how you get busy
offseason?
now?
Well, he slapped a dude last year at a arena. Like, this dude just has no filter.
I'm trying to figure out why he was doing a private lesson at his house.
All right, so he on
out.
Instagram, he says that he met her in May of 2023 when her son attended his football camp in Boca Raton. The court documents say that he direct messaged her. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that kid's mom's pretty hot. Through Instagram, right? The day after she registered her son for camp, asking to, quote, meet up and get to know her. And by the crib. All right. In later messages, he invited her to fly out and meet him and stay at his house for a few days. All right. So he was trying to get with the kid's mom. Whatever. Good for him. Right? Good for her. Good for them. The suit says that Hall, her, reached Hill, his house, June 28th. That afternoon, she watched Tyreek Hill practice in his backyard with his trainer. Okay, so she was there watching his workout session. He invited her. She's a 6'1" model, by the way. I'm sure she's beautiful, whatever. Not that it matters. To join offensive line drills with him. And again, if it's just the two of them, what offensive line drills? Okay, so according to the complaint, Hall, her, pushed Hill back during the first step of their drill. Oh, there were people there, causing people in the backyard, Hill's mother, sister, friend, and trainer to laugh. Oh. So, quote, this is the suit now, apparently embarrassed by his loss of stability as a result of the contact by a woman during the football play, Mr. Hill's attitude changed and he became angry. That was a quote. It says that Hill minimized Hall, her injury, despite her being unable to help herself up and walk because of Hill running at her. Her complaint says that she was diagnosed with a right leg fracture and she's still in physical therapy. All right, so there were a bunch of people there. His mom was there. And you're right, JJ. Last year, he was accused of slapping a 57-year-old dude in an argument at a marina over remember that boat? I mean,
good thing you can run fast, man.
Good thing you can run fast, man. Come on over. Let's do football drills. My mom, my trainer, my sister will be there. I just want to get to know you. Here, you be the offensive lineman. She's like, all right, offensive line, do this, right? They push. She's not a tiny little woman. She pushed him a little bit. What the hell are we doing, allegedly? Allegedly. Jerry Palm's going to be with us coming up at 8:30. That's not alleged. He's here I mean, I'm pretty secure with that. He hasn't missed one, has he? Jerry Palm's our guy. CBS Sports Bracketologist, we'll talk with him. His latest bracket's out this morning. I mean, he's not going to sugarcoat it for you. He'll give you the scenarios. We'll do that coming up at 8:30 this morning. I've been telling you for years about IPS. Maybe Tyreek Hill should have had IPS. They protect your home, your property, and everything you've worked so hard to build, including your business. 24-hour patrols, standing guards. They also install home alarms, and they've been doing that for years. If you don't have an alarm in Albuquerque or Santa Fe, you are much more likely to be the victim of a break-in. I've trusted IPS for years. They go by every day. I remember, DC, you were on the road the other day. I'm like, oh, look at that, DC, here's my security camera. IPS is out in front of the house right now. They come by every day. They patrol. When I'm gone, they come by more. They pick up newspapers, roll the garbage cans to the curb and back, pick up packages that are dropped off, give your home that lived-in look, and make sure everything is secure. Look, you've worked too hard to build what you've got. Don't let the bad guys come and destroy it. They are in Albuquerque and in Santa Fe. I know you see them at all kinds of retail stores when you go there. IPS is making a difference for them as well. Sign up to have IPS monitor your alarm and your cameras. Call them and see what they can do for you. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer to live and work.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough.
All right, we'll do Red Zone at 9, Jerry Palm at 8:30. Coming up at 8 o'clock. JJ, when basketball becomes completely secondary, and we're going to get into a Lobo basketball player, current Lobo basketball player, going public with his battle with depression and talking about mental stability. We'll do that coming up at 8 o'clock. I think it's going to be a really, really important conversation. Last night in the NBA, Lakers come back and win 121-116 over the Clippers. 19 points by LeBron James in the fourth quarter to get that done. They were down 21 points. There's a big push now. We haven't played a 12-team college football playoff yet, but the Big Ten and the SEC want to own the world. And we're talking about a 14-team playoffs. A 14-team playoff that would guarantee the Big Ten and the SEC a lot of teams. One group of 5 teams, even though Paul Feinbaum thinks they shouldn't be in there. And then the rest, the scraps for everybody else. So 5 plus 7 is where we are now with 12. That means 5 conference champions plus 7 at larges. I kind of want to watch the 12 play out before I think we need to expand it. I don't know where you are with this.
Well, it's because conferences got too big.
Well,
and that changed everything for the Big Ten and SEC, and that's why they're already pushing 3-3-2-2-1.
Yeah,
model out.
That means 3 automatic bids for both the Big Ten and the SEC. 2 bids to the ACC and the Big 12, and then the highest ranked group of 5 teams. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 3 at larges. Okay, I guess. How
do you get auto bids? Is it just you play conference championship games? It's just top 3 in the standings. It's uneven conference
However,
schedule.
they're going to they don't even care how you do it. They just want 3 teams from each of those leagues. So 3 SEC teams every year, 3 teams from the Big Ten every year, 2 from the ACC, 2 from the Big 12, and then 3 at larges with 1 going to the group of 5, the highest ranked group of 5 team. I don't know, man. We're going from 4 to 14. It just feels like and I'm in the minority that felt it wasn't broke. It could be better. It wasn't horrible. I just feel 4 to 14. It just feels like, going from 68 to 122 in the NCAA tournament to me. It really feels that drastic to me.
It's one that I don't really understand. How do you get 2 automatic qualifiers outside of a champion? If you're playing a championship, is it whoever plays in the championship?
They'll be ranked. Well,
and loses?
Well, yes, because I think they're doing away with divisions. So yes, if you get in the conference, so the conference championship game is going to be nothing. I mean, it'll probably be playing for a home field in that first round, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess it won't be nothing. It'll get your first home field game in that first round of the playoff. 14 is a weird number to bracket, by the way. A really hard number to bracket. Would you do 6 buys? Is that how you would do it? And then play it into 8? No, you couldn't do that. I don't even know how the bracket would be. I understand the SEC and the Big Ten are flexing their muscles. I understand the SEC and the Big Ten feel that they are college athletics now. And I hear the world telling me that this is what everybody wants. And DC, I'm going to lean on you on this one because you're outside of college sports more than we are. And we both, we followed the Mountain West. I went to, a non-power school. The majority of people in America did not go to schools in those 2 leagues, right? I hear talking heads tell me, I want to see Alabama and Michigan and Ohio State and Georgia. That's all I want to see. And I think the majority of us who went to who didn't go to those 36 schools, I think is now 18 and 16, it's 34. I don't know that we're all there as much as I'm told that that's what everybody wants. Is that all you want to see, or do you want to see everybody have access? And do you think 14, going from 4 to 14, feels like too much?
I don't feel like it's too much.
Okay.
I kind of like it, actually. I think that's kind of a comfortable number right now.
14?
I just sort of like how it shakes out. I think 4 is too little.
Give me the sweatshirt back. I hate it. No, okay.
It's very comfortable. I
He's
love
wearing,
it.
See, he's got a new hoodie today.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Can't remember where I got it, but it's good.
So you like it?
I do. I
Okay.
think it's fascinating. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. So I see what you're saying, though, with having it so heavily weighted with the larger conferences, if you want to call it
I
that.
guess there's only 4 major conferences now, right? There's 4 power conferences. So I guess that's where all the powers. Do I need to see 3 Big 12 teams or Big 10 teams and 3 SEC teams every year in the playoff, like guaranteed in the playoff? What if they're just not the best teams that year? Well, they're gonna be because they're the greatest conferences ever. Are they?
To me, this feels like it's setting up for those power conferences to kind of move away.
100%. 100%. So you're gonna have a year where you're gonna have a Clemson, a Florida State, and a Miami. Let's just say in the ACC who are really good, and one of them is gonna get left out for a 4-loss Iowa because that's the way the format is. I guess they would get it as at large, right?
There's that possibility.
Yeah. You like this?
It's just the automatic bids for teams that aren't the conference champ is just based on standing. You finish top 3, you're in regardless, but we'll play a championship game and won't have a championship game.
It's going to be a ranking like it is now. Yeah. Yeah. I look, man, let me see 12 first. Can I see how 12 works? We may really like it. All right, when we come back, a Lobo men's basketball player took to social media, talked about mental health, depression, going to a dark place. Not when he was 12, not 10 years ago, like now. Why he hasn't been playing, why he hasn't been there, the courage that I think it took for him to tell this story. And I don't know, the way it feels to me, the beauty of the way a team and a program rallied around a young man. And more so, for those of you or those who you may know who are dealing with this kind of stuff, it's a great way to handle it. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Lobo women's basketball gets a big win last night in the pit. You heard it here on the Sports Channel, the voice of the Lobos. How come we never run JJ Buck clips? Like, you never pull the last call from JJ Buck's call on UNM Sports Radio Network. Just asking. It's exciting women's basketball last night. 66-63, they beat the Aztecs. Big win, puts them in second place, kind of secures them off of that first day. Huge win for the ladies last night.
Big. Wake up all alone in second place with 2 games left in the regular season.
Did he just tell you he didn't like hearing his voice or what? I mean, he's just like, I don't want to hear me. I'm just curious. Look at him in that smart new hoodie.
Clean.
It's a good one, huh?
It's good.
Yeah, look at
Like
you. No drawstring on that thing like the kids are wearing.
We are all our wardrobe today is sponsored by those Letter New Mexico Bowl.
I was at lunch the other day. I ran into one of our guys.
Jeff and I might have worn the same thing this
I think
morning.
we wore the same vest, yeah. But I ran into a gentleman who was on our board for. They run a great business in this town. But he was wearing our golf shirt and our not this vest, the vest before this. And the last time I saw him, he was in this vest. He's like, yeah, dude, all my clothes are what you give me. He's like, everything, yeah. Like, you guys give great stuff. All right, we'll try. Lobos men's basketball back on the road. They're going to play Boise State on Saturday, 6:00 over on News Radio KKB. This game, JJ, when was this? Yesterday? This post hit? The Braden Appelhans? All right, Braden Appelhans is a member of the Lobo men's basketball team. And he hasn't played much this year. And I know a lot of you wonder why. 6'7", redshirt freshman, Blue Springs, Missouri is where he's from. And he played a little bit early in the season, and there was some promise there. And then the rotation tightened, and I don't know how many of you noticed sometimes he wasn't there. What was going on? He took to X yesterday, and it is a very long post by posted standards, correct?
Yes.
And he explained why he hasn't been playing, or why he's been distant, why he hasn't been from the team. And he explains in his tweet or in his post that he has struggled with depression since high school. He talks about how he was diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety in the 4th grade. He talks about medications and how some of the prescriptions have just led him down a dark path. And he talks in his post very, very candidly about after, he had a great early season practice. He was killing it. He says, quote, in late September, I started spiraling into a dark place again. My coaches noticed a dramatic change. I would call several times a day to my mom in a complete meltdown. I couldn't make it through practice without breaking down in tears. I couldn't function. I stopped doing homework, lost interest in basketball. And it goes on. And you start going, wow, okay, this is real. He talks about how through all of it, his coaches, his teammates, everyone involved in Lowell basketball kind of put him in what he called a protective cocoon. He said they took care of him. And he says, I couldn't be more thankful for them. He said the coaches decided to limit him to make sure that he was, in his words, mentally healthy. And he handled it the best way he could. There's a lot in here, JJ, as I read this, and I just, it sobered me this morning. Not that I came in hammered, but it sobered me. He says, and to me, there's a couple of really, really keys to this. He says, I'm so grateful that I reached out for help. I knew I could call my parents, coaches, and teammates at any time. Most people, young kids and young adults especially, don't have that. Most don't dare to reach out and ask for help. I hope someone reading this will see that it can happen to anyone, even kids who are living out their dreams. Everyone needs help at some point. First of all, I don't know Braden Applehans. I want to. I am so impressed by his courage to come out and tell his story. And I know some of you are really upset and pissed off, and I just read Sports Speak Up, and I've been listening to it all week, that the Lobos lost to Air Force. And I'm not a Lobo. I mean, I know the people over there, but I'm proud of the way they evidently handled this. I'm proud that they were there for this young man first. If this young man is coming out and saying, look, man, I needed help. I was in a dark place. I was afraid of where I was going. And my teammates and my coaches were there for me. I could care less about a damn loss to Air Force. And I know, maybe you don't feel the same way. I understand sports is important and we're here to win and you want to go the big, I got it. But in the midst of all that, and by no fault of anybody there, but please don't think I'm blaming them, but in the midst of it all, you had a young man who was dealing with obviously something that was insane. And they were there to take care of this young man. And we all know someone or someone's plural who deal with anxiety, depression, whatever it is. I promise you know someone that you may not know they're doing it. Right? He called it a silent injury. Here's to this young man for recognizing it, not being too proud to ask for help. And God bless that program for helping this young man. It sounds like he's in a much better place than he was 2 weeks, a month, 2 months ago.
The program's response is just fantastic. The coaching staff, his teammates, how they gave him an environment where he was comfortable enough to address this, know he had the support staff to help him. And this is one of the things that, with college athletics, that is different. With NIL, all the money that's come in, it's pushing itself towards professional sports, and at some point this model might collapse in on itself, and you will lose the whole student athlete thing, and you'll just have sponsored teams playing sports for universities. But it's a reminder that these are student athletes. These are young people that are still growing up. These are young people that are still going through life. And it's easy to get hyper-focused on what we just all see, and that's a game of basketball. But there's so much more to that when you're talking about 17 to 24-year-olds on where you're at in your collegiate career, of still learning how to handle things. And especially something that, like, you pull up that social media post from Applehans, and the responses are fantastic. People are supporting him. They know we're behind you. Thank you for sharing your story. But there's still such a gigantic stigma against that stuff, especially for males. It's to talk about,
especially for male athletes.
Yes.
Tough
just
guys.
Guys in general. Yeah. To talk about, hey, I'm feeling down. I'm sad. I'm upset. I'm depressed. Because what is a common thing for us guys? What do we do in life? It's all right. Get over it. I don't know how many times I've said that in my life. Like, it's all good.
Suck it up, fight through it. Yeah.
You're
Rub
good.
a little dirt on it. Yeah.
Pour some dirt on it. So when you have to acknowledge that there's real things going on, that you need some help, you need people in your corner, man, because that's not something you do by yourself.
And it's not just young men, right? It's not just. I mean, there's no age window that this just affects. I mean, it affects kids at age 4. It affects men at age 54, right? Or women. I'm reminded, and this is where. And again, I won't tell you how to be a fan, but it does kind of take me back when I see people screaming at athletes. You guys both watched Ted Lasso. Do you watch Ted Lasso?
Yes, I did.
The episode where the captain, what's his name, goes into the stands and gets the red card and goes after a fan. He used the F word. There was, he knew there was a teammate who was gay, hadn't come out yet, and what he was going through, and then Roy Kent goes to bat for him in the press. I mean, just a great episode, a dark episode, but a great episode. Just watched that recently, actually, and the character there is a mid-20s professional athlete. I when I watch people scream, you have no idea what they're going through, or anybody else, right? You don't know what the guy in front of you in line at the grocery store is going through, let alone the guy you're screaming obscenities at. I just look at this as what this can do. And JJ, I didn't read all the comments. I haven't gone through all of it. But you're telling me that it was thank you, it was we support you, it was all, hopefully there's one person or two people or 25 people who are going through something similarly and realize, man, I can reach out and I can get some help.
And this is why stories are shared. And I know a lot of times when it's the first of something, or some people a controversial topic like Michael Sam, right? And they're like, who cares? But it's
Michael Sam was the linebacker at Missouri who was the first openly gay football player in the draft.
And I know a lot of people just say, like, just shove that away, throw it away. We don't need to tell these stories. But there's a reason that people want to share their stories. There's a reason that people need to hear that, because it's not the only person that's going through it.
Yeah. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Jeffrey.
I really appreciate your show, because occasionally you talk about these kinds of issues beyond sports. And, Jeff, you know me as a friend for many, many years. My mother died when I was 10. I've struggled with depression throughout my life. I don't apologize for that at all. But for some reason, our society has this taboo about, somebody being vulnerable and weak in that regard. And for this kid to talk about it openly, I have so much respect for that. Yeah. My uncle committed suicide last May. A good friend of mine, his year-old son, shot himself in the head as a result of loneliness and depression. It takes a lot of self, I guess you'd say, respect and regard to talk about it openly in this social media society.
But there's a lot of bravery that comes to it. It takes guts. It takes there's what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, you're the wordsmith. Bravery. What's the word? Courage.
Well,
courage.
It takes courage. Yeah. It takes courage, because there's so much peer pressure that we're always supposed to be liked and approved and happy
and strong.
Look at my salad. And I just went, look at my girlfriend. But we all struggle with the vicissitudes of life. It's very difficult. Whether you're playing basketball or whether you're a plumber. And, I've never quite understood why our society has this topic reserved in this taboo, position or place. But, I openly talk about it all the time. I've suffered depression, but it takes, having a sense of self-worth, support from your friends and family.
Yep.
And I appreciate the Lobo team for having the infrastructure of support for this young man. And thank you for talking about this topic, because it's a very real part of the human condition.
Appreciate
thank you.
No, thank you. Look,
absolutely.
Look, I don't want to tell you it makes the Air Force loss look like a booger, but it makes the Air Force loss look like a booger. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it was great. It puts it in perspective. Dan just sent me a text. Jeff, thank you for sharing this. That's what is real. So important to create awareness. Thanks, bro. Lost my dad at age 11. Love you, Dan. I mean, I just... look, this is where it is. I guess the reason I'm bringing this up is it's a guy you know, and you only know him from the sports platform, right? From that's why you know Braden Appelhans. And it happens to him. It happens to people that you know. It could happen to you. And the answer is, the moral of the story is the reason that brought this up. And I know you've heard it before, but maybe if you see, here's a Lobo who was able to go ask for help. It's okay. If you need it, it's there. If you need help, it's there. If you need people, we joke all the time, we're here for you. Here's the couch on Monday morning after a loss, right? But if you need help, go get it. It's there. You're not weak. You're not compromised. There's no stigma to it. And God bless the advances. If nothing else, man, in the last 20 years, the advancement in the acceptance of mental health awareness, right? The hell with cell phones and computers and AI. I think the stigma is come off so much, although it's not totally, in the awareness that we all at some point need help. And good on you, Braden Appelhans. Good on you to the Lobo basketball program for not just making us aware of it, but the way you handled it.
Well, it's what they did helped Braden get to this point to where he wanted to share his story.
Yeah.
Knowing that he had people that would help him, the coaching staff, his teammates stayed with him. And, this is one too, what results, performances, it's what we do, we talk about it. But it's a special thing about sport because it brings people together that would never come together, but it gives you a platform for so many different things. It does. It's not just purely entertainment. It can be so much more.
And this is a hell of a use of it. I know we're late, man. Let's take the break. Jerry Palm's going to be with us coming up in 14 minutes at 8:30. CBS Sports Bracketologist here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by State.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children.
Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
New Mexico holds on for the 3-point victory, 66-63, the final, in a heart-stopping moment at the end for the Lobos.
They relieved J.J. Buck, courtesy of UNM Sports Radio Network. Lobo women beat Lobo women's basketball team, beat San Diego State last night. 66-63, a big win over the Aztecs. Lobos in second place in the Mountain West Conference tournament with 2 games left on the regular season schedule. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck at D.C. Talking about the Braden Applehans, Lobo player, posted in regards to his battle that he's had with anxiety and depression and mental stuff over the last, since he was in 4th grade. But he put out a post yesterday and the support that he's gotten from the Lobo team and Lobo fans. Rudy, you want to talk about that? Good morning, Rudy. You're on the Sports Animal.
Yeah, that's a interesting story, and him coming out like that, I think, further reinforces the fact that there are people out there struggling, and you don't know their struggles. So be kind, be nice. You never know when you can help somebody
kind, loving,
with their
caring,
struggles.
and sharing, I believe, is the term.
Absolutely. And by the way, that game last night was off the hook. That is as good a college women's basketball game as I've seen in quite a while, and it's really, I'm sure, fun for JJ to cover those games. I remember the salad days when Henry and I were out there behind the mic covering the games when Flanagan resurrected the program. Anaya Ogman has got to be one of the toughest kids I've ever seen. I mean, she's whisper thin, and she does not mind going down in the trees and mixing it up, and she was the difference in the game, I think, JJ, wasn't she?
Absolutely. Anaya Ogman battling through it, being a presence for the rest of her teammates and getting the free throw line.
And I guess, there's that old saying, there's a big difference between pain and injury. And obviously she's a little bit of both, but she played through the pain, and a couple of those shots that she made down the stretch, I don't even know how she got the ball up, much less into the hoop. But that and Lagerman, her defensive effort, well, all of them, Hulda, Hakeem, that was just a team win. And the nice thing about it is they're solidly in second place. I think that they're going to finish in second. I really like this team. I didn't see this coming, but congratulations to Bradbury and the women's team. They're really looking like they can go give somebody fits. And they've already beat UNLV, so anything can happen at the tournament.
As we've seen. All right, Rudy. No, good to hear you.
We'll see you in Vegas.
And JJ, I honestly said earlier, it looked like her dad. I meant it's her cousin, Stacey Ogman, the former UNLV grade who played in the NBA for 15 years. is her cousin. But there was a play, like a big long stride. She looked long. She reminded me of her cousin Stacey Augmon. And I love her athleticism. I have the whole time she was here. I thought, I remember I told you 2 years ago, I'm like, why don't they use her more?
Yeah, she is. And Coach Bradbury last night, I asked him just about Augmon, and because we've talked all year long about how she's kind of the heart and soul of this team, and he's told me post game, he's like, there's not a player that he's coached that has come as far as she has.
Is that right?
They knew she could play, but just from a leadership standpoint of developing a local leader, like she wasn't supposed to be the point guard of this team. Like she was kind of always an off-ball player, 2 of the 3, and they come in, they didn't have point guard on this year's roster, and they said, all right, Anaya, can you go handle this? And yes, she can.
Yeah. All right, we're talking a little men's basketball with Jerry Palm when we get back. Jerry Palm, of course, is the bracketologist over at CBS Sports, not just Lobos, Mountain West, the bubble, the tournament, the whole thing. I'll certainly get his thoughts on the proposal of a 14-team college football playoff as well, but he's one of the most sought-after guys in America right now. And when we come back, we will get into the bracket, the bubble, with the bracketologist over at CBS Sports. You got to talk about it all the time, Carter. Jerry Palm's got him on the 10 line, Carter. It's a bubble team. They're a terrific team, Carter, but they got to win. So we'll talk with him when we come back. Hey, spring is here. That means you're probably going to take some road trips that might not be all that great for your vehicle, and that's why I want to tell you about my friends over at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They'll get you ready for spring. They'll get you ready for whatever it is you've got, because they will take care of your vehicle. Your vehicle is one of your biggest investments. Take care of it. This is preemptive. This is also post-emptive, if that's even a word, right? If your vehicle is filthy or whatever coming out of winter, I got it. They will come to you and detail your vehicle. That means they come to your place where it works for you, when it works for you, and inside and out. So like the day you took it off the lot. Awarded Best in the City because they know what it takes when it comes to professional restoration and cleaning of your vehicle. Keep the dirt and the mud out this spring and call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They'll detail your car where it's convenient for you, when it's convenient for you. They also offer window tint services for your vehicle. Book today, buy today. It's all online at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for...
It'll be 6 o'clock in Boise, Idaho. Lobos and Broncos. Got to get one. I mean, I think we do. We'll get some answers to that. I think you got to get one on the road after the loss to Air Force. They'll be over on News Radio KKOB. 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock tip. Hunter Green and Robert Portnoy will have the call for you over on News Radio KKOB from Boise, Idaho. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. He's putting out a bracket a day now. I mean, the most sought-after guy in America. We found a few minutes for little old us here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He is Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. He's the guy. Hey, Jerry Palm, Carter. Jerry Palm's got him on the bubble, Carter. They got to get a win, Carter. They're a terrific team, Carter. How are you, Jerry Palm?
That's very good.
He's a terrific player, Carter. If you play the drinking game, Jerry, if you watch a game with Pete Gillen, and every time he says, he's a terrific player, Carter, you're hammered by 10 minutes in.
The second TV timeout.
The second media timeout.
And that's if I'm drinking water.
That's right. That's right, because you got to go pee. Yeah, he's a terrific player, Carter. He's got more moves than a can of worms. That's right. It's something. How you living, man? You're kicking out a bracket a day.
Yeah, I'm doing daily updates. I'm going to do a full refresh tomorrow as opposed to just tweaking. But because the disadvantage of doing daily updates is sometimes you miss subtle changes in teams' profiles that are not playing. So, anyways, I'll do a full refresh tomorrow. But
well, let me tell you something. The world ended here on Saturday. I just want you to know the world ended, and I'm trying to let people know it's not over yet. You got opportunities in front of you. Like no one saw that coming. That's one of the worst losses. I don't know. People are telling me it's the worst Lobo loss at home ever in conference play. I'm like, well, ever's a long time, but we're having a problem coming up with a worst. But if they go and see and or Utah State on the road, I think they're okay. Am I wrong?
No. It's funny because I've always talked about, we talked about this before. I've always viewed New Mexico as a home court hero. Their biggest problem was that they couldn't win off their home floor. And then they finally did. They won it in Nevada. Yep. And it was Nevada, right? Yeah, they won it in Nevada. Yep. And, it's like, oh, gosh, now they're okay. But then they go out and lose, to Vegas. And then they lose to Air Force.
Vegas is good. Air Force is
Vegas and Air Force at home, it's like now you're not even a home court hero. Where are you a hero?
All right, so help me with a
Nowhere.
scenario, Jerry, because this is something they've got 3 left in the conference tournament. They're going to have to play. It looks like they're probably going to have to play in that first round. It looks like they're going to probably be 6th. So if they let's say they beat Fresno State at home, but lose to Boise State and Utah State on the road, win their first round game over Air Force or San Jose State, and I don't know. I mean, right now they play San Diego State in the quarterfinals. That makes for a queasy Selection Sunday.
It does, no question. Yeah, I mean, it's out of their hands at this point. If you go out and win these last 3, you feel really good.
Sure.
The road games are good teams, but if all you do is beat the teams you definitely should, you haven't done much. It's
Are they in the worst place?
It definitely makes for an uneasy Selection Sunday if all they do is beat the teams they should, and you can't even count on that right now.
Are they in the worst place of the 6 Mountain West teams?
Oh yeah.
Consideration?
Oh yeah. That's not even close. Everybody else is comfortably in, which isn't to say that maybe Boise couldn't play their way down if they tank a little bit here. They're starting to run out of time to do it.
Colorado State. Colorado State's losing a lot of games.
Yeah, they are. That's just they're struggling. There's no question. But they just took 2 pair of quad 2s, Nevada at home at Vegas. They've been scuffling a bit for sure. But was it 4 out of 5 now they've lost?
Yeah.
But the win's Utah State. So I mean that's something. They lost. San Diego State, New Mexico, Nevada. Those are 3 of the other 5 teams that are likely going to the tournament. We're less certain about New Mexico now, but and the losses or the wins Utah State. So they had a rough stretch of schedule. And the loss at UNLV, I mean, I think we all know that's not really that bad of a loss. So, it was a tough performance against a tough part of their schedule. Now we'll have to see how they bounce back because they get Wyoming at home and they're at Air Force. They start losing games like that. Now we have to have a conversation about them.
Jerry, is there anything that stands out or you noticed about how the Mountain West just was able to get to this position this year with being so solid at the top this late in the year?
Well, it usually has to do with non-conference performance. You've got, Colorado State beat Creighton. That's a big win. San Diego State beat St. Mary's and Gonzaga. These teams are going out and getting the job done in non-conference play, and that's how you stack up, performances like this. That's how the league ends up doing well, by going out and beating teams outside the league, and then avoiding the dumb losses, outside the league as well, and inside the league. I mean, that's, it's just consistent performances, and that you've seen a lot of that. You don't see a lot of bad losses outside the league for this group of teams.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, joining us on the opening drive. Jerry, are you for or against court storming?
Being a Purdue,
I would say I'm generally against it. I sound curmudgeonly when I say things like that, but I'm curmudgeonly, so there we are. There's always been a risk to the players, and we've been lucky that it hasn't seriously injured somebody yet. We had Caitlin Clark get knocked down when I believe at that time, higher-ranked Ohio State beat them and stormed the court women's game.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Filipkowski got hurt, although he was able to play yesterday for Duke, so not seriously, fortunately. But, when Wake Forest fans stormed the court while the clock was still running.
And they were favored.
They didn't even wait for it to hit 0.
It wasn't even an upset. They were favored.
Wake was.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they feel it's an upset whenever they beat Duke.
Sure.
But, that's, and there's just no appetite to stop it. I'm a Purdue guy, as you know, and Purdue has been court-stormed 10 of its last 11 road losses. At some point someone's going to get hurt. Now there's just – and schools don't care. I mean, they really don't care. I mean, they use the court storm to market it. You know, they'll post the court storm on social media. They're thrilled. So until the schools care, you know, and the SEC fines them, like big-time fines, you know, but they're not big enough for the schools to consider stopping, you know, making any effort to stop it. So, you know, there's nobody's going to do anything about it. So I guess I'll just continue to sound curmudgeonly.
No, I just there's nothing positive that comes from it, right? It's kind of like the handshake lines. We had this conversation. You know, we always have a problem when there's a fight. Well, there's for every one problem you have 3,000 handshake lines that work. Court storming never.
The difference is the handshake line is good sportsmanship.
No, that's right.
You should be able to manage. You should be able to manage that. You know, the court storm is nothing. It certainly isn't good sportsmanship. There's no value to it. In life, you're just storming the court. You're just being some knucklehead college kid,
100%.
Whatever. But but the handshake line, you should be, you should be a good enough sport
to shake hands,
to be able to get through a handshake line.
He's Jerry Palm, CBS Sports. He's with us. Hey, I'm looking at your bracket, and you got San Diego State on the 3 line. They end with UNLV on the road and then Boise State. What's the ceiling? Is the 2 line potential for San Diego State?
They're at their ceiling.
They're at it, so they can't climb to the 2 if they win that.
No, in fact, they're much more likely to be a 4.
Okay.
They're much more likely to get past. Which doesn't really say anything about the league or anything. It just there's a bunch of teams around them that have got a bunch of quad ones sitting there, waiting to.
I was just looking at your rankings, and you have them as the number 1, the top 3, and so
they're my number 12 overall.
Okay, got it. Hey, lastly, I want to go football on you, and we haven't played the 12-team playoff yet.
We have not,
and we're talking about a 14, and this 3-3-2 model, and the Big Ten and SEC rule in the world, and look. We're sitting out here outside of those 2 big leagues, right? And the majority of people did not go to the 34 SEC and Big 12 or Big 10 schools, and I get it. And I'm always told that's what people want to see, and I'm not certain that's all they want to see. Guaranteeing
the Big 10 and the SEC?
Yes. I think there's a lot of people.
The Big 10 and the SEC will tell you that's all people want to see.
100%, and they keep telling me that. How do you feel about going to 14? We haven't played 12 yet. I want to see 12 play.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. It's a total power grab by the Big Ten and the SEC. I don't know why the other conferences would want to do that unless there's definitely more money in it for them. But they're really giving up a lot in terms of power. Now the reality may be that you're going to get 3 Big Ten and 3 SEC teams in it every year anyway. That may be the reality of it, but why guarantee it? The other thing about that, though, is now you're adding another round to the playoff.
I know.
And everybody was concerned about the number of games these kids are playing. Now you're about to the point where you have, at least for those schools, potentially as many rounds to get to a championship as you have in FCS, I think, right?
Well, you're looking at like 17 games, man. I just sat in a meeting about a month ago with conference representatives telling me.
A 16-game playoff is a 16-team or a 14-team playoff is 13 games.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about a season, right? A team wins it, they're going to play a 12-game regular season. They're going to play conference championship. It's 13. Then they're going to play 3 or 4 rounds in a playoff.
Yeah.
Right,
that's kind of the point I was getting to. It's like now, unlike the FCS, where they don't have conference championship games and they play, I think, 11 regular season games. No. That's different. Now you're talking about 2 more regular season games before you get to a tournament where you could potentially play 4 more.
And there's too much damn money in the conference championship games. They've already found that out. They're not giving that back. I promise.
No. Yeah, no, I know they're not.
You and I are on the same.
And the other bowls, I think, really get. I mean, the more you put in a playoff, the more it hurts. I think the other bowls, which are already damaged by the fact that the players just won't play in them.
It's going to be interesting to see because I think the Group of 5 versus Group of 5 games are going to be. What are I don't know. I mean, pick it. What's New Mexico State playing for? What's UAB playing for? What's UMass in Central Michigan and San Diego?
They're playing so that ESPN has something to show on television.
Well, that's right. But I mean, are they playing? To go to a bowl game? Are they? What are we doing? And it's
yeah.
All right. When are you on TV? When can we see you?
I'm actually heading out Tuesday for New York and Connecticut. Most of my time I'll still be on HQ, our streaming service, but I'll be on CBS and Sports Network on the Saturday before, the weekend before selections, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday selection weekend.
All right. Well, safe travels. We'll catch up with you next Thursday. You'll be on the road. The Thursday after, we'll be on the road. But you're a terrific player, Jerry Palm. He's terrific. You're on the bubble, Jerry. You got more moves than a can of worms now. You make coffee nervous.
Yeah. I got all those moves, but every one of them tears an ACL.
That's all right. As long as your hair looks good, that's really what matters. Read him every day.
Don't great either.
Read him every day over on CBSSports.com. You're going to watch him on all the CBS platforms. You follow him on the X at JPPalmCBS. And always appreciate your time. I know you're busy as heck, and appreciate you spending some time with us. Thanks.
Yep.
All right, be well.
Always glad to do it.
Be well. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Take care.
He is the great Jerry Palm. Jerry Palm says, now, Carter, you know Jerry Palm's got him on the bubble, Carter. It wasn't as good. You know what I mean?
Still solid.
It's all right. All right, we're going to Vegas. You know that? We're going to be there for the conference tournament, and looking forward to bringing the Mountain West stuff to you and bringing the opening drive to you from the conference tournament. We will be there the week after next, JJ. We're going to be there. I want to say thank you to the partners who make sure we are there for you. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50 years. Coleman Vision, perfect game. Airport parking, easier, quicker, and smarter. I got a lot to respond to from what Jerry said, including what he said about the Lobos and Selection Sunday and kind of what they got to do. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
About South Florida. Where does Jerry have South Florida? He's got him on the 12 line right now. I'm not sure what your connection is with the Bulls, but that's where he is. Opening drive, Jeff Samieta, JJ Buck.
Maybe it's the team that was flirting with Rich Pitino last year.
They were flirting with him. They offered him the job. They did. Mud says Stacey Augmon is not Anaya Augmon's dad. He is her uncle. In fact, I corrected myself, and I believe it to be her cousin, if I'm not mistaken, not uncle.
Yeah.
So, Mud, I believe it's her cousin, not her uncle. But I know it's not her dad, and I corrected myself. I erred when I said that, and I did correct myself. All right, a couple things about what Jerry Palm had to say. Of the 6 teams who are being in consideration on the bubble for an at-large berth in the Mountain West, that'd be San Diego State and Boise State, and Colorado State and Utah State, and Nevada and New Mexico. He feels the Lobos are in the most precarious position, and the loss to Air Force, in his words, they're, you consider them a home court hero, and they're not winning on their home court. They've lost 3 of the last 4 on their home court, and they lost to Air Force. And there's just the one win away from the pit at Nevada, which is good to lean on. Now, right, that's where he was.
Yeah, and the reason they're still in is because they have beat San Diego State. They have beat Utah State in this run.
Colorado State.
And Colorado State.
And Nevada twice.
And Nevada. So there's good wins there for the Lobos, but not a big margin for error just because it was such an average non-conference schedule. And so when you get to Selection Sunday, though, there's La Tech, UC Irvine, man, if those teams can win and get in, that is another feather in your cap. Because one of the things they'll look at, we've learned from Jerry Palm, all the discussions is, there's a ton of metrics. You're going to be hit over the head constantly with net rankings, quadrant victories. But one of the things, what have you done against other tournament teams? And so if those teams can find a way to get in, that's a bonus. That's 2 wins the Lobos had in non-conference. And it was not a great non-conference schedule, but
could look good on back you up because people are going, wait, why do I care about that? Well, because those, believe it or not, and I know you don't want to hear it, UC Irvine and Louisiana Tech were your 2 best non-conference wins. Well, Jeff, UC Irvine's winning the Big West. They are 13-3 in conference. UC San Diego's next. You hope UC Irvine wins the Big West tournament. They're 81 net. Louisiana Tech is leading Conference USA. They're 21-8, 11-3. Their net is 83. The more they win, the better those wins look. To JJ's point, how did you do against tournament teams? They count. You beat them. Those matter. You lost to St. Mary's. You want them to continue to win, right? If they win the West Coast Conference, and St. Mary's, again, the metrics love St. Mary's. They're 15 net, 23-6 overall, 14-0. The metrics love St. Mary's.
Yeah, it turned into not a bad loss. There were some questions early on when St. Mary's was off to a slow start of what's this going to look like. Lost tough road games.
Yeah. I'm going to reset you at the top. You can get into the post by Braden Oppelhans. A lot of you were in on that. I've got a bunch of correspondence from you. 505-246-0610. That's the text line and the phone line. Man, your Pete Gillen is on spot. Hilarious. Thank you, Carter. Appreciate you. You're a terrific player. You got more moves than a can of worms, Carter. Makes coffee nervous, Carter. Sorry. He's on the bubble. Got to go do something. Get the ball, the big guy, Carter. Get it to him. Give him the ball, Carter. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Get into the sink on the offense. Here's Renfro.
Renfro throws up a wild one and scores.
So turning potential lemons into lemonade is Archuleta. Steverson pulls up from deep. Are you kidding?
He's going to go up with it. No good. Too strong. Loose ball. Going to get kicked right into the hands of Jackson. Here comes Mitchell. Mitchell puts that one in. A little bit of a baby dunk, but
Drive, looking to spin. Blocked from behind by Creighton Johnson. 3-on-2 for Sandia. Thomas Adams goes all the way, and he's fouled.
Look out, layup.
Lund in transition, get out the phone, slam dunk, David Lund.
Dyer. Dyer is going to get that one absolutely sent back.
A floater from 5 feet, stolen away. Steverson, here comes the money. Dunk.
And that could be a dangerous thing for Eldorados. That's just going to be stolen by Chavez, and he's going to put that one down.
Pius 30, Highland 26, Lincoln on the inbound. Lincoln going to try to get to the three-point line. He steps back, puts up the three. Yes! At at the buzzer, Jesus Lincoln. McConnell stops his dribble under 5 seconds, stolen away by Hernandez. Hornets on the move. Hernandez gonna get the shot up, and it goes at the buzzer. Back-to-back buzzer beaters for Highlands.
Looking to find some space. He does. Puts it up with the right hand. No, Steverson.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
The AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, respond to what you heard. Jerry Palm was in telling you what he thinks. He also talked about the 14-team proposed college football playoff, and you're in on that as well. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and Don Cornelius, Don Corleone, Devontae Carlo. You're called a lot of things on the line over there. Jeff, JJ, and DC. 505-246-0610. Bourne is in on the text. No, this is on an email. Boy, I sure don't get this, Jeff. You're selling Steve Alford in Nevada as a great win. But for Lobo basketball to avoid the play-in game, the Pack are likely going to have to choke. So then, how is beating Steve Alford in Nevada a great win? It's from Bourne. Bourne, I laid this out earlier, and I don't expect everybody who's with us. I said for you to play in the standings, for you to, it would have benefited New Mexico, JJ, for Nevada to get beat at Colorado State, because you'd have then been tied for fifth. You have the tiebreaker on them, and fifth is the last bye. So, but as far as a good win, a great win, whatever it is, in the net, the more they win, the better it is for you. And the fact that they continue to win on the road, that they've got 6 quad one wins, that you going on the road, that is your one really good. Jerry Palm just said it to you. I mean, it's not coming out of, I didn't make this up. Their net is 39. You going on the road and beating them is a quad one win, right? What don't we understand how beating Nevada is a really good win?
Well, it's a really good win, but to the point of, well, if they fall in their face the last 2 games so you can move up in the standings. At this point, it's what the Lobos have done is they put themselves in position that they're going to have to win a couple extra games in Vegas. Like, it's no one's won the tournament from playing on that first day. But if you're New Mexico, it's what happens. You lose at home to Air Force. You can't sit there and hope these other teams lose, because you don't want that either for the conference.
Look, Nevada could lose 2 more. Yeah. Right? They play at Boise State. They close at home against UNLV. They could lose 2 of those. If you go 2-1, you tie with them, you get the tiebreaker, you jump them. UNLV is 1 game in front of you, but basically 2, because they've got the tiebreaker on you. I don't know how you're going to get ahead of UNLV. They close, although they could lose, right? They could lose 2 of their last 3. They play San Diego State. They play Nevada. They could lose. There's a lot to go. Just go win games, man. Just go win games and see who comes back at you.
Because if you're at this point in time worried about who you have to play in Las Vegas, that means it went so wrong for you to end the season.
No. Yeah, look, the Air Force game, if you would have won that game, you'd be 10-6, and you would still be, no, you'd be 10-5, and you'd tied with Nevada and UNLV for 4th place. Instead, you're in 6th. That's what that game meant. Now, you got here's the deal, and Jerry said this. If JJ, you and I firmly believe if they beat Fresno State at home, and if they win one of these 2 road games, and don't stub their toe on Wednesday in the tournament, right? You and I both believe they're in the NCAA tournament, correct?
Yes.
That means beat Fresno State, win in either Boise or Logan, and would be, if you win both, would be much preferable. Do not lose to Air Force or San Jose State in the first round of the conference tournament. Get to Thursday, the quarterfinals. I think you're in. If they do not win one of those road games, so that means they beat Fresno State, but they lose in Boise and Logan. Assume they beat Fresno State, Air Force or San Jose State in the first round. They get to Thursday. If they lose in the quarterfinals and don't win one of those 2 road games, it's going to be a really tough bubble Sunday on Selection Sunday.
This is the way you have to look at it, because it's Jerry Palm always says, we discuss it, it's not in a vacuum. Like, this thing changes day to day. That's how the bubble works.
What does everybody else do?
Work out. So you have to lay out scenarios, and you say, all right, scenario 1, you win, you go 2-1. Get one of those road games, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Scenario 2, you go 1-2, lose both road games, beat Fresno State. It's going to be uneasy. You're going to have to win 2 to 3 games in Las Vegas.
You go 3-0, you're in.
Go 3-0, you're in.
3, you're out.
0-3, yeah, you're probably not going to get your name called.
Right? You go 1-2, then what's going to happen in the tournament? But here you're also watching. What does Utah do? What does Colorado do? What does Gonzaga do? What does Providence and Oregon and Villanova and Wake Forest do? Because they're all on the bubble. Gonzaga's a 21 net. They're right on the bubble. Wake Forest just beat Duke the other day. They're a 27 net. Jerry's got them out.
They lost to Notre Dame.
They stormed the damn court and they're out. So it's not just what you do, although it is part. I mean, in large part. But to the text, to the email. Why, from Bourne, why is it such a big deal? He says, but since UNLV and Nevada play each other, one has to win. They both can't lose. I understand. What don't we understand here, Bourne? I'm not sure what we don't understand. Yeah, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. Nevada's got 6 quad 1 wins. Beating them on the road is a really good win. Now, yes, for them to lose and come back to you would help you in the conference tournament to get that bye. But what you're asking me, why is it such a great win? Because the metrics tell you that that's a quad 1 win. I don't understand the disconnect. I honestly don't. All right, you want me to get you some more? Glenn wants to know about softball. JJ, you called Lobo. Not only is JJ out there calling Lobo women's basketball yesterday, you did Lobo softball yesterday too, right?
I did.
Jeff, at your urging, I tuned into Scuffling Lobo softball yesterday. It was hard to watch. JJ was. Oh, it doesn't say JJ. The coach must go. They got beat by Texas Tech?
They did.
Score?
9-2.
All right. This guy's pissed. The coach fire the coach. They got to be. It says they should be better than this.
18 games in your second year at
Yes.
UNM.
Fire the coach. He wants the coach fired. All right. Isn't it ironic, says Dan, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Dean Cruz. You like Dean Cruz?
I do like the sound of that, actually.
All right. What's up, Dean Cruz?
Dean Cruz.
As colleges and more are more and more about mercenaries, it seems the NFL is trending to building with freshmen because you need to get as much mileage as you possibly can out of that rookie contract before guys price themselves out of what their clubs can afford. And Dan, I don't know if it's that ironic. I think it's somewhat always been that way, is it not? Get the most out of a guy before you got to pay him?
Yeah, that sounds like the model, basically,
new.
since free agency started.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you guys something? I'm looking at this bracket.
No.
Okay. Then let's move on.
Of course.
Why is it that the last 4 in 2 end up being 11s and 2 are 16s?
Where do you see them as 16s?
Well, I guess the open brackets on the CBS on Jerry's deal, there's 2 open 11s and 2 16s, and it appears that.
So they're not the last ones in. So look at the very top for the first 4. So the 16s are automatic qualifiers out of the one bid leagues. So that's where you see, out of the SWAC and the MEAC or wherever, like Merrimack, Grambling, Norfolk State, and Eastern Kentucky, he takes the lowest ranked 16s, the automatic qualifiers. They'll play into that, but the last 4 in are those 11s, the teams that are playing for that 11th seed. Does that make sense?
Okay, so the 16s actually won their league.
16s are automatic qualifiers. Those Dayton games, Merrimack, Grambling, and Norfolk State, Eastern Kentucky that he's got projected right now, those are teams those will be automatic qualifiers. So whoever wins the SWAC, like you're going to get a team that's going to come out of nowhere and have a 13-17 record and win their league and get an automatic qualifier. They're going to play into that into that play-in game somewhere in Dayton. So you're going to get a game on Tuesday. It'll be one of the 11s and one of the 16 seeds playing in. So the last 4 in will play in Dayton for those 11 seeds to fill those slots to go in and play those 6s. Does that make sense?
It does.
And then the lowest ranked, essentially, automatic qualifiers are who will play in those 16 playing games. Did I explain that okay?
You did very well.
All right. Does that make sense to you?
It does. And that actually cleared up a lot because I was looking at it like this seems to me if it's the last 4, they'd all be 16s. But as you pointed out, there's a very good reason for that.
Well,
so
no, because you would have Gonzaga, let's just say, or Colorado ranked higher than some of these 13s, 14s, 15s, but those are automatic qualifiers. So, like, I don't know, let's just say Norfolk State, Eastern Kentucky, right? You're going to get teams in with 140 net rankings because, and I believe they should get in. This is a whole nother conversation. People don't believe this. For instance, Vermont's winning the America East. They're 100 net, right? Some of the one big league, like that Eastern Kentucky team that's in, you see, they're leading the Atlantic Sun at 13-3. Their net is 197, right? And so you start saying, well, how do I put them on a 13 line or a 12 line or 11 line? Well, this is where they are as you try to make the tournament as competitive as you try to make the tournament. I hope that makes sense.
No, that was a good job. That provided a lot of clarity, so I appreciate it.
So that's where all that goes. But, yeah, you look at some like the Horizon League, Oakland's 130. They have nobody in double-digit net rankings. The best net ranked team is 124 in the Horizon. That's where Denver plays, isn't it? Isn't that where Denver is?
I believe it is, yes.
Or are they in the Summit? They're in the Summit League, not the Horizon. But, yeah, so the MAAC, Fairfield's leading at 158. So that's how that plays. All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, let's do some Red Zone. We got to get into the NFL. Ooh, yeah, buddy. We're going NFC West today. State of the Union of the NFC West. We'll get into some Red Zone, and maybe we'll even ram it because I don't know. We haven't heard it in a while, and, well, we'll be rocking L.A., so let's ram it today. They're a terrific team, Carter. They're a terrific team. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
The Mountain West is red hot, but only one team is guaranteed.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
As will be, let's the OD today with Jeff at JJ or with JJ and DC. So just ram it. All right, Dwight. Opening drive here for you on it's leap day today. Does that mean my mortgages due? Rents due? Pay your bills? It's leap day. Wait, if you're born today, do you know anybody born on the 29th of February? Is anybody's birthday that you know on the 29th?
No, actually.
Yeah. They get a birthday once every 4 years. I mean, they stay young.
I guess that's one plus.
You just, man, you look like crap for only being 14. I mean, if you're 40 years old, but you're really 10, right? Damn, dude, you're 10. You know what I'm saying? Do you celebrate on the 28th or the 1st, like February 28th or March 1st, if your birthday's on the 29th? Every third year. And then you have a rager every fourth year?
I would celebrate on both.
Fair enough. Okay. You celebrate your birthday still?
No.
Like you're a big birthday guy?
No. Not
JJ
at all.
is.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I was surprised by that. I wasn't sure if that was
hardly.
serious.
He's a Valentine's Day guy.
Well, Valentine's Day is awesome.
It's important. It's important. Are you want to go NFL Red Zone?
Yes.
Let's ram it. I mean, let's do it.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right. Here we are. Final stop on the State of the Union tour. It's the NFC West. So let's start with the NFC champion, San Francisco 49ers.
I like when you give me the yesterday. You gave us the salary cap situation that they go into too. That was good info. This is interesting to me, JJ. So I'm interested in what they're going to do with defensive coordinator. They fire Steve Wilks. They're looking at Brandon Staley, and I still think Brandon Staley can be a good defensive coordinator. I don't think he ever gets a shot to be a head coach again. They are so good defensively. They keep everybody intact between Bosa and I don't know. Is Chase Young staying? He's going. He'll probably be a free agent.
He's not worth it.
He's not worth it. But you say I got Eric Armstead, I got Nick Bosa, I got Dre Greenlaw, I got Fred Warner. And I think with the extended salary cap, they're able to keep both linebackers. I think they're in good shape. I think they're decent in the backside. And then I still have Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and I still think Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. I mean, this is a team that will contend to win the NFC again, and I assume they'll add pieces and get better. I think they're in good place.
The bill is going to come due soon,
Okay.
and they're not going to be able to do a ton
But
in
it's
free
not this
agency.
year, is it?
But you have to set the stage for when that happens. They're going to have to extend Brandon Ayuk,
Okay.
and so that's another expensive piece on an offense. Next season, Brock Purdy becomes available to actually make real money as an NFL quarterback. So you just have to start setting yourself up, which you have to have those two plans in mind. It is what can you do to maximize the right now, and they tried to do that, bringing in Chase Young, the moves that they made over the last few years at the trade deadline. But then it's also the consistency piece of it, which is really important because right now I don't think there's any like game changing moves San Francisco can make. They're a really good football team.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, they're solidified at linebacker. What you have with Bosa. Brock Purdy is not going to hold out. He can't hold out. He's not eligible to get paid. So you're set there, and they've done a good job. Taking a step back, I'm actually pretty impressed with a lot of teams with what they've done in the draft of the last years, specifically in this division, which we'll talk about. They're sitting there at 31, have an opportunity to really go either way. You can drop back, acquire some more picks, add a guy that could potentially be a plug and play right away with what your needs are. Like, this is a franchise, like, it really is. You can just take a step back and say it's all good. It's all good.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, hood.
All right. Let's ram it with the Los Angeles Rams at 10-7 and $39 million available in the cap.
Well, the Rams, when you're able to hit on two players, Puka Nacua and Kobe Turner, the defensive tackle, who is also in the conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year, they're locked in. And it was about a healthy Matthew Stafford. That's what it came down to. The Rams were not as bad as they were the year before because Matthew Stafford didn't play. But you're seeing an evolution of, Cooper Kupp taking a little bit of a step back, Puka Nacua taking that huge step forward. If I'm the Rams, I'm looking at secondary. That's my focus for the 19th overall pick. They're in a good position to add top corners in the draft. You can always find the linebackers when you get a little bit later because I love the foundation. Kieran Williams, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford.
Isn't it amazing that a team that printed T-shirts and said "bleep the draft" did it with the draft? The irony is amazing. When they traded away their draft pick to get Matthew Stafford, they won a Super Bowl because of it. Right? They said "bleep the pick." And
6 other picks outside the first round.
And that's the moral of the second and third day of the draft matter. And to find a guy like Kyron Williams who became, and granted, second-year dude, but they found him later in the draft. He was a 5th-round pick out of Notre Dame 2 years ago. And he became, dare I say, one of the best running backs in the NFL by the end of the season. I'm not exaggerating, am I? One of the most productive. They found Puka Nacua in the 5th round. To your point on Kobe Turner, they went out and found him in the 3rd round. And so the irony of a team that said bleep the draft picks and went out and turned around. And JJ, you're right. I was so down on this team. It was the worst post Super Bowl victory season in the history of the NFL. Statistically, it just was. It's not, wow, they're horrible. It was the worst defending Super Bowl champion season ever. And Matthew Stafford was healthy. They got a good coaching staff, and they turned around and they're legit. And they damn near won a playoff game. Find Puka Nacua. And they just re-signed Demarcus Robinson yesterday, who another guy that was a 4th round pick, but they took a shot on. They didn't draft him, but they found him. And I love what they've got offensively. I do, and I didn't think I was going to say that. I'd like them to find the quarterback of the future. Stetson Bennett's whole thing is crazy, and Carson Wentz is the backup. I find some, get better in the defensive backfield. Aaron Donald is still in his prime. Kobe Turner's coming. The Rams are a playoff team, I think.
3rd and goal.
All right, we'll take a trip to the Pacific Northwest with the 9-8 Seattle Seahawks. They have $12 million in room on the cap. The 9-8 Seattle Seahawks.
Kind of a purgatory to me right now, because I think they've got 3, one great, but total 3 really good receivers. I think Smith and Jigba is going to be good. I think Lockett's still good. I think Metcalf is great. And I hate overusing the word great, but I think he's terrific. He's a terrific player, Carter. He's a terrific player. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback, and I don't know how much Geno you got left. Like they found the magic, and Pete Carroll found the magic in him, and then they get rid of Pete Carroll. Another team that is really good at the back end of the draft, and they found players, and they got better at the back end of the draft too. That's how they built it the first time with the Legion of Boom. But I don't know what they're doing. They decided to go a different way with the coaching staff. They missed the playoffs by a game. They lost a couple of games they shouldn't have lost, which I thought was because of just subpar quarterback play. It's a team that's in purgatory. They could be a playoff team, or they could fall off the cliff. I lean towards playoff team.
If we're Seattle, they've done a good job solidifying the offensive line for the last couple of years. Mike McDonald comes in, defensive coordinator from Baltimore, so I know he's going to be focused on building that side of the football back up. And I think Geno Smith has one more year. This could be a situation
One more
where
good year or one more year?
It's one more year as the quarterback.
One more good year?
For the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. But what I'm saying is I think this is time where you start thinking, hey, at 16, you talk yourself into Bo Nix, Michael Penix there, because that's going to be the difference. Is Devin Witherspoon, their top 5 pick last year, good foundational piece in the secondary, and they're at that moment where they've done enough work. And you mentioned DK Metcalf. I think they'll move on from Tyler Lockett. You have Jackson Smith and Jigba. That this year is where you start looking at what does the future hold. Is it now we bring a guy in to sit for a year? Because I think after this season, the Seattle Seahawks will be aggressive in the quarterback market.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, and finally, with $51 million in cap space, the Kyler Murray-led Arizona Cardinals.
Number 4 is going to be fascinating because everyone is looking at Marvin Harrison Jr., which what you want to do right now is give Kyler Murray all the weapons he can have to succeed in. They don't have a true number 1 wide receiver. Hollywood Brown is a free agent. So this is a team that has to address that. You paid Kyler Murray. He was able to at least come back, play some football in there last year, so he should be full go, 100%. Jonathan Gannon seems like a solid choice. The franchise wasn't in disarray last year from top to bottom. And to start there, try to get Kyler Murray a number 1 wide receiver and see if that dude can cook.
So they were one of the quiet surprises to me. You're like, Jeff, they were 4-13. They were crud. And they were competitive almost every week. And I thought they were going to be, a 2-win team. They played without Kyler Murray for what? The first, how many games? Clayton Tune was playing quarterback. This is make or break for Kyler Murray. Every year we go into, like, this is a big year for this quarterback. Kyler Murray is the guy this year. Like, right there. What's the franchise going to do with him? And so I do believe they go out and get him a receiver. I thought they were way better defensively than I thought they would be. To me, they're a 6 to 7 win team next year, and it's a build. And I know no fan base, no ownership, nobody's patient. But I think this was a tear down and a build. I think they're a 7-win team next year. They were okay defensively. I think they'll get better defensively. They go out and draft a receiver and build the defense in the second and third day of the draft. They're going to be a competitive football team. I think this division has 2 teams better, maybe 3 teams better than them, but I think they will build and become better. It's huge for Kyler Murray, right? It's huge.
That's why I do think at number 4 it makes sense to take the best available wide receiver. Usually in the top 10, where do you focus on? Well, do you need a quarterback? No, you don't if you're Arizona. There's not a guy right now in the top 5 that I love that say, hey, you have to take him. He's your franchise left tackle. Same thing when it comes to edge rusher. There's not a must-have edge rusher because that's where I look. I start inside and out. It's quarterback. It's the offensive line to protect the quarterback, and it's the best guys available to rush the passer. But for Arizona, with where they sit, not a true stud at tackle, not a true stud off the edge. Go get the true stud at wide receiver.
All right, you can get in on any of that. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. A social media influencer says Tyreek Hill broke her leg doing offensive line drills in his backyard in front of his mom and his daughter and his sister. Tell me that doesn't remember. Do you remember the show? What was the show that the NFL banned off of ESPN? It was Playmakers. Is that what it was called? Yeah. Tell me that's not right out of Playmakers. Star receiver, direct message on Instagram, the mother of a kid who signs up for his camp. Hey, baby, I just want to get to know you. She comes over to the house. They're doing offensive line drills. She's a 6'1" model. So during the drills, she kind of knocks him off balance. He gets pissed and rushes her and breaks her leg, allegedly. I mean, honestly, is that right out of Playmakers?
Yeah, it sounded like you were...
Here's the script.
Yeah, exactly. Reading out the script. The part that just makes me laugh so hard is the offensive line drills.
Yes! After he was working out with his trainer, they did drills, and so he was showing her offensive line drills. And she's not 5'2", 106 pounds. She's 6'1", however, whatever. So evidently in this offensive line drill, she knocked him off balance. And his family laughed, and the people who were there, allegedly, according to the police report, laughed. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? Yes! Oh, how did this woman get there? She's the mother of an 8-year-old. Was that 8-year-old?
I believe it was 8.
Who was at his camp, and he thought, well, hey, and he sent her, I just want to get to know you. Let's hang out. And she's at his house with his mom, his sister, and his daughter. Or so, is that what it was? And they laughed, so he allegedly charged her and broke her leg because he was pissed.
It just makes me a little nervous that everyone's about to have a broken leg because everyone's going to be laughing now.
Oh, my goodness gracious. What was this? HBO did a show. It wasn't Playmakers. It was NFL.
Ballers?
Ballers? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same show, right? Same exact kind of thing. Tell me this wouldn't happen in that.
Oh, it totally would. Totally would.
Man, the script writers in the NFL are good. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
The madness is coming.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention.
Now she's got a lawsuit going and she wants money in damages. And now it hits the media. Oh, by the way, she's a social media influencer, which means she'll have, I don't know, lots of followers. I just, you can't make this crap up. Tyreek Hill is in the news. He's good, though. Would you tell me at least you good thing he can really run fast?
Yes.
All right. You sent me a report card, DC. This is the NFL player report card. So each team, 1,706 players provided information to share with one another about their current club. This is to help make important decisions and raise standards. So the goals were to highlight positive clubs, identify areas that could use improvement, highlight best practices and standards. So if you're going to have 32 teams and you're going to have everybody do a report, there's going to be a first, there's going to be a last. I don't care, right? There's going to be a first, there's going to be a last, there's going to be in the middle. I'm looking through this, man. What did I learn? What did you learn going through this whole thing? Is there a best? Or I don't know that I see an overall grade. I see.
So when you click into the team, it'll give you the overall grade, and then you go down from there.
Like I see the Arizona Cardinals have nothing better than a B. You got a D+ in treatment of families. Yeah, that's bad. Their cafeteria and their food is a D. Their nutritionist and dietitian is a C. Their locker room's an F. So are the Falcons' locker room, F. Wow. Training room C-. Training staff B. Weight room C-. That's not very good, is it?
So after this survey last year,
yeah,
the Arizona Cardinals did stop charging players for meals.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
That's the
They were charging them for meals in the
They
facility.
changed floors and equipment in a weight room.
Yeah,
Added
still
a
got a
small family gathering.
All right, so they got a D in food.
For game days.
They still got a D in food, and they got a D.
That just blows my mind. Like, you're the NFL. And like you can't, like, you're having issues with like weight rooms, just having the right equipment.
Minnesota Vikings got great grades.
Kansas City getting called out.
Everybody got called out, dude.
Facilities, win Super Bowls, and just sitting there on your hands, not doing anything. Hunt family.
Commandos F-, D+, B-, F-, F-, F, and C. I mean, everybody, this is just your opportunity. It's like your company survey.
except for you're not held accountable.
I know these guys, they're like, you know what? You can put my name on it.
What are you going to do? I just don't care. Chargers, FFB, F, D+, C+, D+. Like, everybody got bad grades.
Not the Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins, A-, A, A-, A+. That's pretty good. People like being in Miami.
Playing Miami.
It's amazing how much you like being in Miami more than you like being in
Minnesota was second.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Never mind. Bad assumption. Really bad assumption on my part. Rams got bad grades. Jacksonville got bad. I mean, they all did. It's like when we fill out a survey, man, I know the boss is going to know it's me when I write a comment. Now, it's got to be, do I care or do I not care, right? These guys are like, yeah, whatever, man. I'm a multi-million-dollar left tackle. They need me. Their food sucks.
That, JJ brought that up. It is a little surprising when you see teams, only 20% of the team actually has a dietitian and something for their diet. I figured they'd put more stock and investment in things like that. But that was one thing that stood out, that there aren't a ton of teams that put a lot of emphasis into that area of training.
The dietitian and stuff?
Yeah.
And food? The Cowboys, 11th in food and 11th in dietitian. Second best locker room, though. But, it's third to last training staff. I don't even know what to make of this stuff, man. I honestly,
the one that I do find interesting is the head coach.
Where's that?
Rankings.
Where's that one?
And so you can kind of get a vibe, like, say you click on the Cardinals, right? And
All
you go down, you're like, oh, how you feeling? And their head coach got an A-. So, like, the team.
But that's ranked 15th, which is crazy. A- is 15th.
But it kind of goes, those are little things you can use to back up. Like, when we're talking about Jonathan Gannon, we think, like, hey, they might have gotten it right there. And you like the vibe around the team. And the players agree.
Ownership. Where do you think the Cowboys ranked in ownership? Jura. Don't look. What do you think?
I know 10 teams gave their owners A, and I don't think he was on that. So I'm guessing he might be a B.
Okay.
Maybe like 15th overall.
Right B 15th. What do you think? B 15. Bingo!
Was that the answer? Or
No,
was that just
no. B 19. B 19 is the answer. Sorry. He's like, all right. B 19. B 19th is the answer. That's interesting. What about your Broncos? What do you think they are ownership wise?
They're an A.
They are an A. Fifth
Or
overall.
A-, I believe.
Straight. So they ranked pretty good. The treatment of family is not good. 21st. Food 10th.
The treatment of family part, I think, is probably one that would be easy to kind of gloss over, but that's a really important one for players. If you pull up Tampa Bay, for instance, they provide daycare but charge $90 per child. So just think about that. You're playing on the field and you get to pay the babysitter.
But I mean, somebody's got to pay. I don't know, man. What if you went to work and had to pay for I struggle with that. And I hear your point. Well, they got to go, but you got to go to work. What do you pay for daycare? Somebody's got to pay the daycare people, don't they? I mean, should that be on the team to pay for daycare?
Most teams offer it for free.
Do they?
Yeah.
I mean, Judge, you tell me all the time, don't compare our lives to their lives. But I mean, when you go to work, you got to pay daycare, don't you? Why is it so? I'm going to push on that one a little bit. I mean, it's a nice perk, and I understand it. And the answer is, Jeff, they're making billions of dollars. They can afford to pay for daycare. You're probably right. But I don't know, man. Every other one of us goes to work, we got to pay for daycare.
To DC's point, these are the little things that don't, I get it. Athletes get benefits crazy out the wazoo. But those are the little things that could matter in just free agency, in just the environment around your team.
Yeah.
Don't have it even become a talking point.
Here's another one with Tampa Bay. Younger players have roommates when they're on the road.
Yeah, that's a problem.
They have to pay $1,750 for their own room.
Is it for 2 nights or 1 night?
It doesn't say specifically, but
younger players?
Younger players have roommates.
What's the distinction on younger? How many years?
Doesn't say specifically. I'm guessing someone under 5 years, though.
So I'm a third-year guy. Got to live with you and listen to you snore all night before a game?
Or you're paying $1,700.
And most companies, that's a bad one. What team is that?
That's also Tampa Bay.
That's a problem. Yeah, most companies now, like I remember when I was in TV at Channel 7, we'd go on the road. Bob and I would have to share a room. Bob Brown. and I would go, like when we go to the conference tournament, we'd have to share a room. And then it got to a point where company policy, we can know you each get your own room. And it should be, man. You're grown adults on a business trip. You should get your own room.
Here's another one with Tampa Bay. The players must sit in the smaller seats in the back of the plane while the staff sit in the larger first-class seats. Kind of a small, petty thing, but if you're a player...
But you're flying charter, right? Like, what kind of... That's interesting, too. I mean, there's only so many seats up front, right? Like, how do you decide? Honestly, let's just say there's, I don't know, 5 rows, 7 rows of 2. That's 14. How you just, and then the rest of the plane, smaller seats. How you deciding who sits up front? Like, I'm trying to play the other side of this. I'm trying to play devil's. How do you decide who sits up front?
Probably tenure with the team.
All right, so Baker Mayfield gets to sit up there because he's the damn quarterback. I don't know.
It's a good point. I mean, if he's only been with the
There's
team
only
6
so
months.
many first class seats. You can't put 53 dudes up there. They got to ride somewhere. I'm sure they're not
Build a bigger
sitting
plane.
I'm sure they're not sitting in the middle seats.
They're all in the middle seat next to strangers.
Yeah, it's a charter. They probably each have their own damn row.
A lot of people on charter.
On a college charter.
Football.
On a college charter.
No, even an NFL team.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I'm struggling. I'm the second string linebacker, and I didn't get to sit in first class. Well, there's only how many seats in first class? Think about it.
Kind of plane are they in?
That'd be a
I'm
cool
interested.
incentive during practice. I got 4 seats up for grabs. Best practice players this week get to sit in first class.
That actually is a really good incentive.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the I struggle with that.
You know, the thing is, the NFL is a lot more about feelings and relationships and just like everything else. So these little things do start to add up one way or the other.
Sure they do.
And so when you have 65% of your team saying that I don't have enough room on the plane, that is something you probably want to address.
Yeah, I'm listening, but I'm just saying, if for instance, right, there's only so many seats. I don't know. I'll give you a few more when we get back. You got more? I know we got to take this last break. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We're going through the players' report cards of the National Football League and some of the issues that they have. Do you feel real bad because the players got to pay $90 for guys making all that money? Like you do, they got to pay for daycare, for childcare? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports App.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Show that she better than all my intentions. Locked in, show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke.
Achieved though. Y'all think, oh, Harbaugh's going to come and it's going to be great. Not unless he brought his damn chef. NFL report cards out. Chargers food cafeteria 4th, 31st in the league. They ranked 32nd in overall taste of food. 31st out of 32 in overall freshness, and only 55 players, 55% of the players feel they have enough seating in the cafeteria, boys. I mean, there's your issue.
Brandon Staley does seem like a guy that would be scared of spice.
I just want oatmeal. I want a ham sandwich with mayonnaise and oatmeal. That's it. All right. Their locker room, only 57% of the players feel their locker room is big enough. It's 29th overall. They got a problem with the training room. You know why? Only 44%. This is a first world problem if I ever heard one. There's just not enough hot tub space. Only 44% of the players, 30th overall, feel they have enough hot tub space. 56%, 31st overall, second to last, feel they have enough cold tub space. So there's not nearly enough tubbing going on. Tub. Large men in a tub.
Could be like, the college cold tubs. Which in most places, it's just a barrel outside filled with ice.
That's what I'm saying. It's a trash can filled with ice. Yeah, it's a big old plastic trash can. Yeah. They hate their travel because their ownership is, who their owners are. Players' travel schedule, 4th worst in the league. They refuse to send an equipment truck ahead of time, which causes them to sit on the tarmac waiting for the plane to be loaded and unloaded. Well, that's that would. So they won't send their truck ahead, like colleges do and everybody else. Only 55% of the players feel that they've got adequate personal space during flights. But at least they don't require roommates on the road before games. This is entertaining stuff. I mean, we don't have enough hot tubs. Our owner won't invest in facilities.
The Bengals have an interesting one. They're having issues with the food as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. As an improvement from last year, the team decided to offer dinner to players once a week. They rank 30th in taste, 31st in freshness. They only provide 3 meals a day on Wednesdays.
Of
They
course.
do
What
not.
else would they do? I mean, of course.
Yeah, Wednesday is the day, I guess.
Yeah.
They do not open their cafeteria on their off days, even though players are in the building. And the players want what most other teams have: 3 meals a day and a cafeteria open and operating on off days.
Wow. Okay, that's a problem.
And they have no full-time dietitian.
They're also one of 12 teams that don't provide their players with family rooms at the stadium. This is the Bengals. They don't provide daycare. They are one of only 4 teams that do not offer either a family room or daycare. And they want what most others have, a family room to get their loved ones out of the cold, and it's cold there. It's very cold, Connor. It's very cold. They want daycare. They want something better than a tent outside for families to gather after the game. This is a tent. And they want a point of contact for their families. Players report that their families find it hard to get information. There's no clear point. What are we doing? What are we running here sometimes?
You know what that sounds like?
What?
It sounds like one of the linemen has a wife that voices all of her opinions to him, and he gets to handle them.
I promise you that. And it was cold, and we were out there freezing.
I didn't have anyone to call.
And there was no one, and no one would answer the phone. And what's her name? And her little son were freezing, and his snot was frozen to his face.
And you wouldn't return a text.
And where were you? Well, I was just trying to find a hot tub. They don't have enough hot tubs or cold tubs, and
It was third down. I was on the field.
Well, pick up the phone. That's why you have a phone. All right.
That's why I'm not
going to have a wife anymore. All right, here's what everybody's talking about as you go through your day. LeBron scored 19 points in the fourth quarter. The Clippers only scored 16 as a team. Lakers came back from down 21, beat the Clippers last night, 121-116. Lobo women were winners in the pit last night, 66-63. They are now in second place in the Mountain West Conference. It's a big win for them. And there's a case against Tyreek Hill, accused of breaking what is referred to as a social influencer's leg, maliciously and purposely. The story is she is the mother of an 8-year-old who went to his camp. He DM'd her on the Instagram, I want to get to know you. She came over to the house, watched him work out, and then whilst his family, mother, sister, whatever, was watching, in an offensive line drill, because, whenever you get the ladies to your house, call it what you want, man. Some of y'all call it wrestling. He calls it an offensive line drill. She pushed him backwards off balance, and he charged her, allegedly, and broke her leg.
I'm going to show you how to kick out his left tackle. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a pulling guard. You know what I mean? Call it what you want, man. Whatever the kids are calling it these days. We were just wrestling. You know what I'm saying.
Remember Netflix and chill? No more.
No. Those days are gone. Now we're doing offensive line drill. I'm showing her how to pass protect. Oh, but when she run blocks, oh, baby, can she run block? Thanks to Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com and CBS Sports and all them stuffs. He was with us today. You can hear it on the podcast if you missed it. Very good stuff with the big guy over at CBS. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men Ons here at 4. We will return with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow. DC, great work. Looks good on the video. Adrian, thank you for that. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
or surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.